Welcome to Soul Sister Stories, where we dive into profound journeys of spiritual awakening with inspiring women. I'm Rika Markel, your host on this journey. My passion is to empower you to tune into your soul's whispers by presenting you the stories of soul sisters who have dared to dream and live extraordinary lives while helping others doing the same. Hi everyone. Today we have another episode of Soul Sister Stories, and I have with me Cali, who is the creator of Gentle Awakening. And as usual, we're going to listen to her story, see how she came where she is today, and then, of course, at the end, we're going to get to know how you can work with Cali if you feel like called to do it her way. And so, Callie, thank you so much for joining us today. And I would love to have you introduce yourself to us.
Hi, Rika. Thank you for having me here. And I feel very, very pleased to be in this movement that you're creating. I feel very honored for your invitation, for your time.
It totally came from you guys. So,
Wonderful. So, my name is Kali, and I recently created Gentle Awakening online as well. And Gentle Awakening is the bubble in which I boil since years because I've been on the spiritual path since 12 years now. And I've encountered techniques and many approaches that would just not resonate with me. And as much as they were powerful and popular and very good for one's awakening, it felt like I couldn't connect with the maybe the culture, the tradition, the pace, the approach that the practice had, the teaching had. I marinated in my own sauce after I've learned so many practices, and I've been traveling so much to delve into different cultures, to meet different teachers on 3 different continents. I decided to go in in contemplation, in inner inquiry, and in meditation to find the answers that are true for me. I connect with the frequency of truth the most. And I came to realize that what works best for me is what is the truth for me. So, my own approach is through connecting with one's own truth. And what I came to realize is that this truth, this frequency, is very refined, is very subtle. I can only be in connection with my own truth when my mind is still, when I have stillness inside. That's the only way I found that I'm available to meet the truth that resides inside of me. And for that, I have created what is called gentle awakening because once I am available, once I can put myself in the state of mind that can resonate with the truth inside, which is in the body, then is when I can have such a gentle awakening. This is the name. Like it's so gentle, I don't need to do anything. I just need to connect. It's a click. It's a aha. It's such a beautiful fine, but it's very soft. It's a very soft awakening that happens when I realize my own truth. There is so much more to talk about it. And my approach is through the body and the mind. I use the body and the mind as a relationship to bring this possibility of resting if in one's own truth. As a tool, I use the body and mind.
understood. So, how did you? I do know from the conversation that we had before that there was a period in your life that there was a lot of suffering going on. You couldn't find what you were looking for, and you alluded to that. Like there was a lot going on, and you knew that that was not really what was going to help you. So, what was the age when you started to realize that you were like uncomfortable, that there was something going on and you had to go seeking for something?
I have always been in this certainty that something is not right. I have always been in this kind of misalignment, and I have memories from 9 months old
Wow.
that bring me the same kind of evidence that I was never resting in peacefulness. This appeared in my life through suffering, deep suffering, frustration, depression. For months I struggled with such intense depression. So I was an adult and I couldn't get myself out of bed to go to pee. So I was very low on tonus, on energy. I had a lot of anxiety as well. My mind was so active. The sleep quality was very unsupportive for my life. I had sickness for 12 years. So, and I had many difficulties. I lived in a hospital. So I was also very, very sick with my body. I had heart issues and bones issues. And this really gave me all this. So this is a 20 years old story that I'm just condensing right now by saying that all these are side effects of this knowing that I had inside my heart. I had the experience of being raised by people who cannot support me. They do not have the understanding of lightness or high elevated states of consciousness or soul mission or all the things that we are speaking of today. So I had no education and no resources. I was put in a little box where I was like, there are no possibilities for me. So throughout my life, I believed that there is not a chance for me to be happy because I couldn't find a way. There was no possibility for me. I tried to commit suicide as well at one point, at 2 points in my life, and things were very bad for me. Like it was a big punishment. Life was a big, big punishment. I couldn't find the answer of the question that I always asked for myself. What is the meaning of this? This is also a question that I ask myself today. What is the meaning of this? Why am I here? What am I supposed to do? And
A lot of people out there that identify with that, that are really asking the same question. So, and I also know that that you would agree with me that knowledge is very important here. If you know how the body mind works, then you have a better chance of getting out of it. So you educate people also. It's a similar thing that I do because I truly believe in that. But in your life, what was the point that what came then that it flipped? What was going on? Like now you are where you are, and so something changed. So what exactly changed? Is that, did it happen like overnight? Was it a one-time thing, or was it something that started to happen? I'm just curious.
now I can say it like that. It is connected with this feeling of unease that I had throughout my whole life. I always knew that this is not how things are supposed to be. When I was 19, I broke up with my partner, my 2 years old partner. We had the partnership of 2 years, and I was devastated. I thought that I cannot again move through this heartbreak, and I was scared of my own pain, actually. So there was in that suffering, there was something active in me that said, either I do it well, either I'm done with this. So there was this force inside of me that awakened through this deep suffering that said, either I'm looking for ways that I haven't tried before to find a better quality of life. So this was what I'm expressing now is an inner dialogue that I was having in that deep suffering. It was like the stance of an adult that I had inside of me that said, okay, either that's the quality of the adult that I had inside of me. Either you do it right, either you don't do it. Because I was in in between. Like I was suffering, but I didn't knew why am I suffering. I didn't knew what am I supposed to do with all this. I was just in a continuous suffering that felt very unclear, like there was no meaning in it, no meaning in it. So at that point, I've started to rest in the possibility of option, of possibility. I have decided that either I do it well. This sentence popped up in me, and this meant already a possibility. This already opened myself up towards maybe there is a way. Maybe there is a way. I had no education. I was in a small city. I was in a communist environment. The diversity of healing methods was very little, and it was a journey. So since then, I had awakened to the from that point I awakened to the possibility of searching. Before, I was in deep suffering and in a deep pessimism. Like, that's it. I will just gonna die like that, and this is life. But from that point, because the suffering was very tormenting, a heartbreak was something that I haven't been experiencing before, you know? And we all know how sweet, delightful heartbreaks are.
Oh,
And it really sparked this power in me, because maybe it was the sweetness of it, you know, maybe it was something sweet in it that was like, wow, there is so much depth in here, and maybe I wanted to experience more of life. So I opened my mind to searching for possibilities. I didn't know what that means, I didn't know if there are, but I had to try. There is this inner fire that awakened through that suffering.
understood.
And throughout my time, I've educated myself to be able to have more clarity and to have more understanding of what is this inner fire and how can this inner fire actually support the quality of my life.
So when you started searching, when you said, okay, I'm gonna do something about that, and so what were you searching? How did that look like?
So, first of all, I shoved in all my feelings because I was this kind of I became this straight adult, mature, to like, okay, let's do it. At least, you know, it was so beautiful because it was a feeling of togetherness that I felt. For the first time in my life, I was not alone anymore. I was harsh, I was controlling, I just wanted that. I didn't have the openness that I have now, but there was someone. There was someone there with me that said, okay, there is no more shit you can take. Let's try differently. That's it. I didn't had the education to think about possibilities or options, but I shoved these feelings under the protection of an adult that sees it. I became aware that this is a lot. This is so much. So I just continued that period of time. I continued my life as it was, in much more connection and awareness of what is. I was going to school, I was going back home, I was just continuing doing these things. In 1 year, the opportunity appeared for me to travel for the first time. And appeared for me is, I believe now, me wanting something that I didn't know how to say I want to travel. I never traveled. I didn't knew that I can travel, or I didn't knew what I needed. So I had no this kind of conscious thoughts towards evolution. But I brought this stance of the adult inside of me, and this eventually maturing created opportunities for me. And I had this opportunity to travel in United States of America. I've been nowhere. I've been in a small city forever, and then I go to New York City. Crazy. And from here, a whole new journey started, possibilities, education, new stories, new people, new experiences, new feelings. From here, there is a beautiful up line that and that brought me many more experiences and many more understandings.
I understand that. If there's one city that can break everything open or ruin everything, it is New York City. It is like such a an amazing place if you can see it, but it can also very like, everything has the two sides, like as good as it can be, as bad as it can be. And I'm very, very happy for you that you could tap into the beauty and that it really
Well,
up.
I literally could not have taken more shit than I already had, you know?
Well,
So,
you did choose probably also very consciously that it was enough, and so that's why it shifted, and that's why probably other opportunities came to you. Was
yeah.
there anything in particular? And I'm still like trying to poke it out. Like, did you study any spirituality? Did you read books? What was inspiring you? So how did that journey? Because like it's very esoteric. Like whatever you talk about is and I understand truly, truly, but practically, like in the material world, what was happening? What was going on? What was inspiring you? Like, was there any specific teaching or books or anything? A teacher, anything?
I believe that anything can teach you and anything can give a lesson, wisdom, anything can be inspiring. And what I realize is that at the beginning part of my life, I didn't had the quality of awareness developed. So I was very unidimensional. I was very much into I do this, this happens, this is how things are. I'm going to retire at this age. It was very, things were clear, linear, and very straightforward. And in this kind of experience of life, there is not much that can inspire you. There is not much that can open you because you're not available to be opened. This is how I lived the first 19 years of my life. So even so, there are many things now that I think back. There are many things that I'm now opening up to them, and I'm learning so much from my life experience then. But without the quality of awareness developed, nothing can happen. And this is to answer your question, because what I came to realize is that this is actually all that I need. This is actually all that I need to be able to walk on my path with strength, to be able to have clarity and focus on what I'm here to do, and to have awareness developed, what supported me the best, and what I feel I connected so easily with are the Buddhist teachings. And in the last 10 years of my life, so I'm 31 now, and in the last 10 years of my life, I have been opening myself up to more and more and more things. So I've been studying Hinduism, I've been studying Buddhism, I've been studying Taoism, I've been studying Tantra, and I've been studying Kabbalah and Sufism. And I've been doing so I've been studying with my mind. I was reading a lot, I was listening to many teachers, and that was beautiful. It was such a needed part of my experience, because I'm a very rational being and I need to understand things first. I use my rational cognitive mind for that. And then I was again feeling this kind of similarity in life experience. I was again feeling frustration. I was again feeling misalignment and discomfort, and like something was not right. And at one point in my journey, this New York trip opened my Pandora box on traveling. I'm such a lover for traveling, is insane. So I've been traveling this last 10 years. I've been continuously traveling, and I didn't knew where I'm traveling or why, but I can say now that all my travels have been connected to my healing journey. And all my travels, what gave me, and I respect them so much for that, they gave me embodied experiences. They gave me embodied lessons and wisdom. So I was reading a lot. I was also, for the next 3 years after my United States trip, I studied law. And I was very much into this kind of researching, studying. And then I continued to do traveling for the last years, for all those years. And the travelings have gave me the possibility to also include my body into my learning. So I was now hearing stories of humans, and each person has their own energy, and each person has their own smell and their own aspect. And it really allowed me to see that there is so much more than reading, than accumulating information. And in time, it was a process of opening up to different dimensions of experiencing life. I now include feeling into my decisions, into my action, into my speaking. I include senses. I include all the things that I've learned about through my connection with the spiritual teachings I came across in my traveling. So this was my path. Traveling was part of my path. And in the last 3 years, my traveling has been very focused on so I went to Thailand to learn Buddhism, and I went to Vietnam to meet a Taoist teacher. So I went to Uganda to meet a healer, and I've been very focused on connecting with something that resonated with me. And for me to be able to feel the resonance is for me to be able to open up to sensitivity of life. And this comes through experience. That's why part of my work is to work with the body first. The body is the one that is a tuning fork. And there is no universal truth, but is personal truth. And to open up to that, this is what is the most impactful, to open up to your own truth and to live your own path in deep strength and respect, because this is how you honor the mission that you came here with. I believe that we all come with a mission here. We're not
Oh,
random.
no, I don't believe that either. We all have a mission. So let me just right jump to it. What's your mission?
Okay, big part of
For it.
my
Go
mission.
for it. Spit it out.
All right, to support people, to support humans to awaken to creator, to the creator side of themselves. We all are here to learn about ourselves, to find out what is this mission, and to share it, to share the gifts. So my mission is to support people become emotionally mature, because you need so much emotional strength in order to be able to stand for your mission and to honorably walk with it, because it's hard to do. That is hard. Simply, it's difficult. But you want to be so honest and so raw and so coherent in that, because there is no time for games here. No, there is no time to maybe I do it today, maybe I don't do it tomorrow. No, when you meet your mission, you live with it, you go to sleep with it, you act with it in your daily life. Your mission is who you are. This is the first question that we must master, the answer of which we must master. Who are you? Once you come into opening more and more and more to this truth, this is a practice. This doesn't come overnight. No. But to decide consciously to find the answer of this question is such a rewarding journey. And it is not for everyone. And once you are connected with this soul mission, you understand that you don't have any more time to lose. There is no time to waste. And you walk on it with it, whatever you're doing. You speak with your mother, you caress your cat, you help your clients. It's the same. You have the same energy and focus on whatever you are. This doesn't sleep.
I hear that from other women that I spoke to in this series, but also outside. And it is a similar, they would say it maybe in a little bit of a different way, but they all say there's no time to waste. We are on a mission. We're going to do this, and and there's like this sense of urgency. And it makes sense though. It makes sense. Our planet is going through a huge transition, and there are a lot of people that are like on that verge, like are they going to step into the next level or not? And they need us to like help them, to pull them, to hold their hands, to keep to hold the space, to just yeah, help them on their awakening, help them to figure out what their mission is. And as you say, it's not for everybody yet, because I truly believe that eventually everybody will get to this. But in this time, it's still like it's opening up slowly, slowly in the time of Aquarius. So let's go a little bit more practical. How is your coaching business, or I never like using my business a coaching business. I feel more that I facilitate people on their journey. So how would you call what you do with people? Let me ask that first.
So yeah, first of all, I also call it my soul mission instead of coaching business. I resonate more with
Yeah,
that.
I get that. I get that.
Yes. And so my practical name is Mindfulness and Personal Power Coach. And I work with entrepreneurs mostly because I want to work with the ones who understand they are here to create. And we together find ways to do so. I use the body and the mind as a body. The body of my work is from the body and the mind. And I support my people by understanding. We go with science first. We go with biology. We look at the body, like what is this body and what does it do? And I want my people to understand how everything we want to know and all the friction and all the smoothness comes from the body. The body is our first mirror, and we use it. I like to use the body and the mind because they are always here with me. As long as I'm here, the body and the mind are always here. So I have always access to my truth. This is something that I really want my people to get, to embody this, because through this you will have a better relationship and connection with personal power. What I understand for personal power is actually the inner child or the inner fire, is to learn the language of your inner child and to be available, to have the availability to bring it to your conscious mind and to be able to express it and to also create a structure for it, because this is what a business is, if you want. A soul mission that comes from your soul, comes from inside of you, is a mastery. And this is what I support people with, to be able to really understand the desires and the needs of the inner child and to find a way to connect it with the conscious mind and to develop together a language that will support you to deliver your own unique mission.
That's a mouthful, my dear. That's a mouthful, but it is so well said. I think I should take this thing out. I hope I have it like in the description. I'm going to look for it and put it down this on under this video because it is so profound what just came out of your mouth. That was amazing. So how does who I know your clients are entrepreneurs, but what field are they in? Like what like and I totally get it. We are created in the image of our creator, who was a creator. So we are creators too. That is just the nature of who we are. But people use their creative abilities in different ways. So who are the people that you like to support? Who are the entrepreneurs that you like to support?
I love to work with visionaries and with people who are the anxious type, because I am the anxious type, and I really get that. And I love to work with sensitive people, people who are really like they felt maybe throughout their lives that they don't belong here, and that they are very misplaced. And I would just feel so sorry to let this. I can, I cannot turn around, turn my look away from that. When I hear someone is feeling like they don't belong, oh my God, I just wanna, come to mama. Let me talk with you. Let me tell you a story. Like, come
That's
here. Like, these are my people, the ones who feel like they cannot find a way to connect inside with the outside.
there's such a need for that because you see, in a world that we live in, where entrepreneurs are strong and like go-getters and no emotions, no feelings, so it's all business. There's nothing personal to it. It's only business. You all in that male world where we are trying to get our conscious businesses out there, it is important that we find our tribe, that we find the people that understand that there is also a way to build a business from the heart and from like heart-centered businesses. So if you feel like you want to start a business, but you think that because of all the brainwashing that went on, that you're not the kind of person to do so, I think you have to talk to Kali. She's going to tell you what you can do and how you can start doing that. So let's now go really into the details. Do you have courses? Do you have personal coaching? Do you work one-on-one? Do you work in group? What's the deal here?
So the way to work with me is one-on-one for now. I have the option either to have one instant awakening call, I call it, like where I apply the light of awareness on our specific topic that you want to open up to in our conversation, and we bring light on it. In 45 minutes, you're going to have a different perspective on it, and you're going to open yourself up to options that are supporting your growth. And then we can work together in something that in 2 months container, one-on-one, something that I called heart leadership. Because to deliver your soul mission in the world is such a scary thing to do. It may be counterintuitive what I'm saying right now, but the more open your heart is, the more power you have. It's simple. And the power that we are looking at is the power that comes from devotion, is love, is the openness, is such a deep, strong vulnerability that the worst case scenario is not so scary anymore. We want to be this open in our soul missions because like that we can truly impact, like that we can truly transform our clients' lives. And we are coming together in one-on-one container on heart leadership to find the best way for us to deliver our mission with a full open heart without any fear, without any fear. I'm preparing a program on body and mind mastery based on the body and mind connection map that I have just finished to create. And we are going to look biologically, scientifically at the body and the mind. And I'm also going to bring spiritual esoteric teachings on that because they do work together very well. And I'm a very mystical person with a deep sense of pragmatism. So I have such a beautiful combination of these two. And I understand results. We all want results. And all this is for us to be able to bring better quality of life in our daily life. When we stay with our children, when we work, when we eat, when we spend time with our families. All the work that I'm doing is for you to see elevation and growth in your daily life.
So nice. Oh, I could talk to you forever, but as I can
I
with
feel the same.
as I feel like I can talk with all my guests, it's amazing. And I'm so honored that all those beautiful women came up. And a lot of them are very young, like you. You could be my daughter. So it's like I am so thrilled that the younger generation is so smart. They know it, like they know so much more. It's amazing. I'm very excited about that. So I am going to wrap this conversation up, but people will be able to find you. I put your website, all the links that you're going to provide me with, and we put that beneath this video. And is there one thing that you would like to let our viewers, our listeners with, so that there's something that they can think about?
Yes, actually. I would love to say that whenever you feel like you know life, think again. Let yourself be surprised by life. I invite you to open yourself up to this possibility of enhancement. What if this tea that I'm drinking right now, it will be so different than the one that I drank yesterday, even though it was the same? What if I let myself
My
to be
favorite
surprised?
sentence. What if? I start a lot of my stuff with what if because I think that's a magical phrase. So I'm again excited that you bring that up also. It's amazing.
Yummy.
Oh, yeah, amazing. So,
Thank you
all
so
of you
much.
listening and watching, thank you so much for being here. If you, all the links will be down here, and I'm looking forward to the next Soul Sister story, but not before thanking Callie for coming on and giving us such an amazing insight on how she can help us so that we can also be part of bettering the world. Have a wonderful day, all of you, and thank you so much, Callie, for being here. Thank you for joining us. If our journey today resonated with you, please consider subscribing and liking this video to support our growing community. For more insights and resources, be sure to check the links in the description below. They're filled with valuable information and support to guide you on your spiritual path. Remember, your soul's journey is unique and magnificent. Stay connected, keep exploring, and let's continue this journey together in our next episode. Until then, keep listening to the whispers of your soul and embrace the life of your dreams.